Thanks, sir.
Hi, good evening and good morning. You all hear me?
Yes, sir.
Evening, sir. Yes, sir.
Good evening. Right, so I'm seeing Siddharth, Taneshwar, Guru Prasanna, Sutaman, Dakshin, and Sivyati. Voice clear, Dakshin, Guru Prasanna.
Yes, sir.
Right, okay, so Siddharth, do you have your presentation today?
Yes, sir, I do.
Tanesh,
Yes, sir. I have my presentation today.
right, so Tanesh, you start now. Siddharth, you would like to start?
Sir, I can go first.
Okay, fine, go for it. Is it a video presentation or you'd like to do the PPT alone?
I will do a video presentation, sir.
Right. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's Siddharth Saranakumar for you. We will start his presentation and we are happy to see him. Let's go. Siddharth, you're on. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Siddharth. I will do a presentation today on anime slash manga, which is like anime. Anime is like an animation, but the Japanese kind. What is anime? Anime is Japanese animation, short for anime. It is a style of Japanese film and television animation, typically animated for adults as well as children. Anime is different from manga, which it can be confused for. Manga is pretty much the comic version of anime, but anime is much better because it is more fluent in the movements from frame to frame, so you can actually see the movement of the characters from frame to frame, and it's very smooth. You can also see the graphics much clearly, like whatever power up move they're doing, it looks very cool. Manga, on the other hand, it shows the artwork of the authors and shows every movement of the main characters as well as their thought that the author wants us to know. In manga, they show speech bubbles or thought bubbles, letting us know what the main character is thinking, although it doesn't show that in actual anime. And then there are different kinds of anime. Anime itself is a broad thing. There's different kinds, like action, adventure, comedy, drama, slice of life, fantasy, magic, supernatural, horror, mystery, psychological, romance, and sci-fi. But most anime themselves already have at least some bit of romance in them, because like that's the main theme of anime for some reason. Although that does make it a bit more interesting, there are many other ones that are more interesting, like magic or supernatural. This scene is from one of the best animes I've watched, Sword Art Online. Here you can see the magic or supernatural in it, as well as the graphics showing how good it is because in anime. And then here I have named some good animes and famous animes that I've watched or I'm going to watch eventually. And then here I have a scene from Naruto where uh, these two are rivals like for life. They fight each other many times. And then there's graphics in the background for showing their powers. First we have Sword Art Online, which I talked about before. Then Naruto, which is this. One Piece, The Daily Life of Immortal Kings, One Punch Man, My Hero Academia, Haikyuu. If you want anything funny, then I know One Punch Man and My Hero Academia are very funny. Haikyuu is about volleyball. There's many animes that are about sports or different kind of subjects, which specialize in them. Then there's Promised Neverland, Jujutsu Kaisen, Spirited Away, which is a PG movie, Charlotte, The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, and those are the best ones. But there are many other ones too. There's hundreds of thousands of other ones because there are many authors doing anime or drawing them up. Thank you, and that is all.
Well done, Siddharth.
Thank you very much, Dakshin.
Right, so
Very well done, Anna.
Thank you.
that's a good short presentation. And if you got any questions, you can go for it. Anybody having any questions?
Thank you, sir. So, Siddharth, your presentation was really good. My question to you is, what are your top three favorite animes?
My top three would be Sword Art Online, The Daily Life of Immortal Kings, um, I, and then it would be Jujutsu Kaisen. Those are the top three because I haven't fully watched Naruto just because it's too long and they have too many filler episodes, which is just like them uselessly talking and not real action.
Okay, Siddharth, thank you.
So, Daman, do you have any question?
No, sir.
What is your understanding about the presentation?
Sir, understood about this the animation of Japanese cartoons, sir.
Is
And
his
also
under,
about the sir.
is his understanding right, Siddharth?
Yes, sir, it is.
Yeah, so Daman, go on.
Yes, sir, and also about the another new state known as this manga, sir. Like on the comic, it's the comic animation, sir. Like arts and more.
Okay. Any questions, Tanish?
No, sir.
Okay. Coming to my group, you have any question? Guru Prasanna, if you're speaking, we are not hearing you. All right. Siddharth, shall I ask my question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so you see, Siddharth, when this Japanese animation, these guys have been pioneering leaders in terms of keeping the kids entertained. You know, if you roll back to the 1940s, there is a school of thought that they were much ahead of even Walt Disney's creative work, like Ninja Hattori for that matter, or Doraemon, as Tanishwar mentioned. All these people, I mean, all these animation creations have been pioneers, and they have been keeping the children entertained. And at one point of time, the Japanese animation industry has been so much proud that they are the market leaders. Now, the same anime concept that you have been speaking has been touching even the rudimentary and fundamental layers of discipline and well-being and good conduct. Like they come up with disastrous anime games which are easily promotable. You go to specific websites and they automatically pop in, and they make, now that this technological evolution has gone out of the roof, they even make children to go for a 30 minutes or 25 minutes free play, and they get addicted to it, and they get on into the subscription of uh, uh, the anime games and anime movies for that matter. You yourself mentioned in the presentation that they focus more on romance for some reason. So teenage kids are addicted, teenage kids are vulnerably being misguided by these people. And specifically speaking, the telecommunications industry don't have a spam control on these Japanese people to scrouge into the other people's web navigators. So all you need is internet. So when somebody is using internet, they jump in. You use the classical Netscape navigator internet, they jump in. You use Chrome, they jump in. You use Firefox, they jump in. So they don't have any sort of spam or controlling units with the browsers, and that is their freedom. And even if you put up a control unit, they break and they try to sell on you. How do you think youngsters and teenagers should stop this? And how do you think this could be stopped and people how can you ensure that the people are self-disciplined?
For
Besides
me,
this big mafia of anime, Japanese cartoon industries coming and screeching into the discipline of specifically Indian youngsters.
For me, sir, the solution I would give is something I've given before in my another presentation on addiction of phone addiction. So I would say more like get different kind of activities that are not related to technology or watching any kind of videos. It's like even code designing would be a good one for this because you're designing code or making something instead of watching whatever someone else made. If you don't want to go that or you know you get distracted because you're being on the computer, they can do something like physical, like go play outside, learn to do something new or draw, things like that. Because by doing this, they will forget about their addiction to anime or addiction to watching things, and they'll just keep on with their normal life while doing something physical, which helps them.
Okay, that sounds like a natural answer, but then I have another question to you. That is, I recently read an article that this particular industry recruits more than 3 lakh or 5 lakh individuals per year, every year. And it is huge business these days. And anybody who has got some knowledge in terms of Java or HTML or basic level of app development, they are recruited, barring all the parameters of the countries. Dakshin and Danish, could you please stop chatting when I'm speaking here? You mind?
Okay, sir.
So, barring all the country evolutions and breaching all the contract and breaching all the kind of human resource management. Like, for example, when you are recruiting a person, I mean, if you are a Japanese game developer and if I'm an Indian youngster and if you're recruiting me, there has to be certain standards that had to be passed by. But these people don't even look into that. They just get inside and they pick up the youngsters. So, do you really think an youngster can be a little bit more smart to avoid these kinds of talent hacking and talent hunting being done in a wrong way? What's your solution as a teenager?
For this,
I mean, I'm asking if you are a person who is going to be recruited and you know consciously that you are doing something not under the binding of law, but you would like to do the job. But ethically speaking, you would like to abscond or you would like to avoid getting recruited. So, what would the step be?
it would be something like I can draw good anime, but I make sure not to like in my resume or in any things I've done before, any artwork, make sure not to do certain kinds of anime or certain kinds of genre in it, so that people who specialize in that kind of area, they don't recruit me, making me go into jobs that I don't want to, which causes like if I do go into the job, it'll cause more youngsters to get caught up in my anime and make them lose their way of life.
Okay, okay. So, you mean you will stay into your own self controlled trail road and you will not go beyond it? Is that right?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. Right, Guru Prasanna, do you have any question? Yeah.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yeah, you are.
Sir, in that device, I think, sir, I raised my hand, sir, but it was not shown for you, I think, sir, and my voice was also not audible, I think.
Right.
Yes, sir. Shall I ask my question, sir, to Siddharth?
Yes, yes, you can. You can ask.
Yes, sir. So, Siddharth, uh, so like the presentation was really good, Siddharth. Like I learned many informative things because normally I don't like these animated series and movies, so I won't watch it, but it was good, useful, and knowledge. To gain knowledge we can use this. So my question is that, like, you did various kinds of presentations. Like first you did about macromolecules, then a virus combined with Tanishwar, after that you did a presentation in addiction recently, and now it's about anime. Like uh, basically, you have come across many types of presentations in this like 7 to 8 presentations, in which one presentation you think you had you have given the 100%, and you could like you could not have expressed more than this. In which presentation you had this thought?
That would be the macromolecules presentation I did to Nashor, because to the extent that I knew about macromolecules or I researched about it, that's how much, like pretty much everything I knew and me and Nashor, we put into that presentation.
Okay, Danish. So thank you.
That's a very intriguing question. Good job, Gurvasan.
Thank you, sir.
Right, so Siddharth has done a very good presentation. I only wish the presentation could have been a little bit more longer. He has to work on it, but short enough but good enough to cover the subject. Right, so now, good job, Siddharth. I appreciate your tendency of giving various ranges of categories of presentation. Nice.
Thank you very much, sir.
Very well done,
Job,
Anna.
Siddharth.
Thank you, Sisman. Thank you, Dakshin.
Right, so now the focus. Siddharth, you can stop sharing your screen. We are still seeing the screen. Yeah, now it's Tanishwar's turn. And your
Okay,
presentation
sir.
is very interesting. So on.
Let me open it.
You're doing a video presentation or only PPT?
I have a PowerPoint presentation, sir.
Right, okay, okay.
Okay. Okay, so I did my presentation on phobias.
Okay, so it's about phobia, and let's all listen to Tanishwar's version. 3, 2, 1, go.
Okay, so what is a phobia? A phobia is an ongoing fear of an unrealistic object, animal, activity, or situation, or anything. So it's an illogical fear, and it probably won't cause any harm. It's just something in your like mental brain that you think it's scary. It causes anxiety or paranoia, which just means you're scared or you're paranoid. And some causes of phobias are social isolation, mood disorder, substance abuse, and depression. So these can all lead to phobias, and phobias can also come from genetic effects, but like when it comes normally, it's unknown where it comes from. Here are some types of phobia. Uh, One is arachnophobia, which is the fear of spiders. Claustrophobia is the fear of small spaces. Agoraphobia is fear of places or situations. Trypanophobia is fears of needles or shots. Hemophobia is fear of blood. Aquaphobia is fear of water, and anatidaephobia is a fear of ducks or geese watching you. How to treat phobias. So there's in two like three main methods, but two of them are therapies. So one is known as psychotherapy and the other one is known as exposure therapy, or you can take antidepressant medications to cure it. So psychotherapy is when like it's using methods that can change someone's personality. And exposure therapy, it just exposes you to what you're scared of, so like it kind of helps overcome it. And then statistics, more than 19 million people in the US have a phobia, and 19 million is just 5% of the population. But then like when you see that it's like 19 million people, then you think it's a you think it's a lot. And then 3% of the whole world has a phobia, and there are, that are like, 210 million people, which like, which may not seem a lot if you think of 8 billion, but it's still a lot. So, yeah. So more statistics. So statistically, females have a higher chance slash they have a phobia more than males. So as you can see, the female part of the pie chart, it's 66, while the male part's only 34. And then the people that like the age range of what people have a phobia of is between the age of 84 and 34. I mean, no, 18 and 34, as you can see here. And people can have one below 18 as well. And then, people can overcome a phobia, but like it's gonna be kind of hard to overcome it, just because it's something that's inside of your mental brain, because you can't change that. So a phobia isn't like somebody's mental thought. It's like, for example, if like someone has trypanophobia, which is the fear of needles or shots, and they recently took a shot that didn't hurt, you know they're gonna be like, oh, I'm not scared. But then if they have to take the shot again, but they're gonna be scared, like, they're gonna be scared again, regardless if it hurt or not. I don't. I worded it like wrong here, but if they didn't want to, like, they take the shot and then they're like, it doesn't hurt at all, and then they have trypanophobia, so they're gonna be scared of the shot again, even if it didn't hurt. They're still gonna be scared, and that's kind of what a phobia is. It's just an illogical fear. And that's the end of my presentation.
Great job, Taneshwar.
Thank you.
Good job, Tanishwar.
Thank you, Dakshinanna.
Tanishwar.
Very well done, Manish.
Thank you, sir.
Very well done, Anna.
Thank you, Ashwathaman.
Questions? Anybody? All right, Dakshin, Aswathaman, Guru Prasanna, and Siddharth. All four have questions. So we'll start with Dakshin.
Thank you, sir. So, Tanishwar, first of all, it was a really good presentation. In my opinion, it is the best presentation that you have done as far as I've watched, like all your presentations that I've watched. Out of all those, for me, this is your best, because you brought statistics in, which is a really good way of making a presentation more effective. You showed beautifully arranged pie charts and all, and it made the presentation even more appealing and attractive. So, I just have a question. Have you ever experienced any kind of phobia before, or even currently, are you going through any sort of phobia? It could be in the past, or it could be right now.
Okay, so thank you. And I don't know if I'm going through a phobia or not, but like, I'm very scared of shots. That's just it. So I don't know if I don't know if it would be a phobia, but yeah.
Okay, Tanishwar, thank you.
Aswathaman, you're on.
Yes, sir. So first of all, it was a very nice presentation, Anna. And my question is that many people like face phobias and also normal fears. But like I have like the fear of spiders, and now, but I had the phobia of sharks. Can you say which phobia is the most? Which phobia is commonly seen in other most of the peoples?
I think
That's
it
my question.
might be arachnophobia, the fear of spiders.
Spiders.
Yeah, or
Okay.
it could also be like, social phobia, just people that are scared to like talk to other people. But I think it's arachnophobia.
Okay, no, thank you. No,
Yeah, thank you.
I had a slight acnophobia. I'm
Oh.
still scared of spiders.
We're all suffering from aswathamophobia, and we are still recovering from
So now, so more like the
Ah,
spiders are scared of him.
it. Phobia, yeah, as Lakshmi mentioned, spiders are scared of him, and especially the spiders which are loitering around in the midnight, because Phobia is seeing a person, a lookalike
See,
of
walking,
Asutama
sir.
walking in the night, in the midnight. Okay, right. So yeah, that's a good question. Jokes apart, and now Guru Prasanna, your question.
Yes, sir. Am I audible, sir?
Yes.
Yes, sir. So, Tanishwar, so the presentation was really good, Tanishwar. As Dakshina told, the graph and the statistics which you showed, as like it shows the presentation more attractive and interesting. So, my question is like, have you ever like Dakshina asked, have you ever faced phobia in your life? But I'm just giving a situation to you. Like you could take any kind of phobia and like just imagine that you have been affected by that. You should not get help from the other like you should not get the help from therapies or the other person who are living, and you should be yourself. And how will you give yourself a good solution? What could be your good solution?
Uh, so maybe just like, read some articles online, because as I mentioned, it is an illogical fear, and it won't do any harm. It's just something in your mental brain. It's for an unrealistic object. So, you could read that online, or you could have someone talk to you, but it just depends on how each person recovers. But if you understand that it's illogical and causes no harm, then and if you have a good mindset, you could get like cured of it. But like, yeah, but it might take longer if your mindset isn't like not that good.
Thank you.
Okay.
I expected the answer. You just told it.
Okay.
Right. So Siddharth, your question.
Okay, sir. So, Taneshwar, first of all, good job on your presentation. It was very fun to listen to. So, for my question is like, is there such a phobia of like the opposite of claustrophobia, pretty much? You're scared of being in a big room or something very large.
Uh, I don't know. I don't think there is. Well, there is something called, megalophobia, but I don't know if it's real.
Ah, okay. Thank you.
Sir, like I know one small. I don't know if this phobia is real, sir, but I know I heard of one small phobia, sir, similar to this, sir. Like it occurs when, like we are, everything is closed, sir. Though how much big or small it is, when like everything, the doors, windows, and everything are closed, like you get so much scared, sir, like that, sir.
That's not a phobia. Yeah, I'll be touching upon the point after I finish asking the question, Asutta. Okay.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Right. So, Danish, my question to you is, I spoke about phobia. I mean, a couple of days back when I was in a college program, speaking to a mass of about 365 people. I think it was on December 1st. My YouTube channel contains that video. I was speaking about phobia and how to take control of it. So, phobia cannot be destroyed, but it can be controlled. And Charles Jung, in one of his research papers, has written, psychologist Charles Jung, one of my favorite therapists. There are almost about 1 lakh phobia that could come and attack the human being. And as you rightly mentioned in your presentation, it's harmless, but it can curb you from showing your complete potential. Like a person who has got the phobia of coming to the stage and speaking in front of people, a person who has got the phobia of not dining along with the others because of the aversion that he has towards listening to the chewing sound of the other people. That's a phobia basically. And when you drink a glass of juice or water, when somebody is making a noise drinking and you get so much averse and you are getting frustrated, that's a phobia. And when you listen to a person who is always nagging, and even if the person is speaking with substance, you think that it is an irritation for you, then it's a phobia. And when girls speak, boys think that, come on, and that's too much of attitude. That's a very negative phobia, and vice versa. When boys speak, girls think that female chauvinism and male chauvinism phobia. So the irking and painful factor is that we're coming across a lot of phobias being discovered. Okay, so one of the psychological researchers in the American Medical Association have come up with a very important intervention that phobia, any form of phobia, can be overcome by a proper self-analysis. Okay, so in your opinion, as a presenter of this particular topic, which is the phobia? Now, people like Dakshin asked, what are the phobia that you are experiencing? Siddharth also asked pretty much the same. So, in your opinion, do you really think making a self-analysis and spending a couple of hours in analyzing yourself, do you really think that can solve your phobia? What is your take on that?
Yes, sir. That was like Guru Prasanna's question, sir. Like how to like overcome it without, anyone helping you. I think you can, because you don't need to like take medications or go to a doctor or anything, because like you just have to get that into your head that it's not going to do any harm, because most phobias, they don't do any harm. You just have to get that in your head, and then if you understand and you're not scared anymore, then you've overcame it. And if you're still scared, then you could try again.
Okay, okay. My next question is, most of you must be familiar, like the famous demonologists, the husband and wife who died very recently. I mean, the husband died very earlier, but the wife died very recently. The Ed Warrens and Lorraine Warren family, the Warrens, the people who have been instrumental in the Conjuring universe and the Insidious universe, real people. So those people made the American Council believe that some of the some of the cases that they dealt, right? They understood that it is a severe case of a phobia. Like when a person sees paranormal things, Mr. Ed Warren says that it is a phobia. First of all, it is a phobia, right? So whatever the person sees, only 25% is the illusionary fact, but the rest of the thing is a phobia. And when he, then and his wife, she goes to the next extent and she says, when you believe in a superstition substance, then it's a phobia. If you believe black magic and occultism, all those things are really working against a human being, first of all, that thinking itself is a phobia. So it's very relieving to read those articles written by those people. But what's your opinion? Is that a phobia, or do we really have some evilistic things around us?
uh well, I just think it's a phobia, just because there's a lot of people affected by it. Like, as you saw, like 210 million people in the world are like affected by it. It's not something that's just like, you know it just doesn't it uh I don't know how to word it, but like it just doesn't come like naturally, because like you said, like if someone gets like irritated while someone's chewing food, even though it doesn't do anything, if they're getting like, if they're getting scared, that doesn't really make sense. It's just something that's like, it's something that it's just an illogical fear.
Right, right. Okay, so nice correction. Yeah, Dakshin.
So I just have a question. Whoever knows can answer this, sir. And like it's like a doubt which I have. Like when I see certain movies, when there are like there's like too much fighting, for instance, like using a knife and scratching and stabbing and all, I just close my eyes. I don't know why. Like I can't see those type of scenes. If it's gunshots, then fine, sir. But like stabbing and punching and making the other person bleed, is it like a phobia or I don't know what is it,
No,
sir?
that is not a phobia. That's actually aversion towards a course of action. You're just not really comfortable with the course of action of a weapon like a knife coming and piercing into the flesh. You just don't like the course of action. It is not a phobia. I'll tell you when it is a phobia. When two people are speaking and the argument gets a little bit adverse, and you have a friend near you, and you hold your friend's hand or your mom's hand very tightly, and you say that, oh my God, why am I feeling that the person is going to take a knife nearby him and he is going to stab the person right into the chest? I'm feeling that this is going to happen in another 5 minutes. Oh my God, that's really weird that I'm feeling. I'm thinking that it's going to happen. It is not going to happen there at the scene, but you visualize that the person is really going to take the knife and stab the other person. Then it's a phobia. But if you're watching a movie or if you're watching a dramatic sequence, subconsciously knowing that it is a dramatic sequence and you are understanding that it is not a reality, it is only a movie, and you don't like the course of action of a weapon hurting the other person, then it is just like an aversion. It's a hatred. You don't like the course of action. Okay, so it is not a phobia. So you don't worry about it. As you grow up, things will automatically get on with it. So the answer is no, it's not a phobia.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Coming up to touching what Asathaman was mentioning, I promised him that I'll be coming back to that a little bit later. You see, phobia comes to the person, or phobia resonates into the person only when the person does not have faith. Haunting happens, phobia resides, and fear gets completely submerged into the person's mind only when the person is lacking faith. If I have so much strong faith, phobia cannot affect me. If I have so much strong faith, superstition cannot affect me. Haunting cannot affect me. Right? Negative energies cannot affect me. So we have already spoken in MS sessions about the negative vibes of the other people. Negative vibes of the other people is even more dangerous than spirits haunting you and having multitude of phobia. Okay, the negative vibes of the other human beings is much dangerous even than that. For everything, the kind of the faith that you are holding on is a key. That is an unshakable faith. Okay, so some of the schools of thoughts really say that if you really have belief in God, you must have belief in the evil spirits too. You must have belief in the affecting things, psychologically affecting things like phobias. But then, a stomping fact is that when a person is living a life driven by faith, driven by unshakable hopes, then the person can really be very strong. Phobia attacks every single person. But phobia resides and resonates into the person who believes that the phobia can really make a person go on a paradigm shift. Myself, Dakshin Siddharth, Guru Prasad. We three are going to a particular place and we are exposed to a particular energy, and that negative energy in the name of a phobia, in that particular situation, in that particular circumstance, our triggering mechanisms are attracting those phobia. And it attacked me, it attacked Dakshin, it attacked Guru Prasad. I came across by having a faith that, yeah, it happens naturally. Sometimes it really happens, sometimes life brings up a lot of shock. But we can go through it. Guru Prasad says, oh my God, I really don't know what has happened to me last time. That should not have happened like that. I seriously think that we should not have come here. So Guru Prasad speaks on those lines. Dakshin says, I don't know how my life is going to be. I think I'm going to be with it for the next 2 or 3 months. I cannot forget. It is really going to take at least a couple of months for me to get through this, man. If Dakshin speaks on this line, remember, Guru Prasanna speaks, Dakshin speaks. They both are speaking on the same lines, but Guru Prasanna speaks about the subject matter of days. Dakshin speaks about the subject matter of months. So here, Dakshin will be affected by the phobia, and Guru Prasanna will be affected by the phobia as well. But he can go to a therapist. He can cling on to some solutions and he can get through. But as far as Dakshin is concerned, he's going to stay with it because he has collapsed his faith and he has lost his hope and he thinks and believes so strongly that it has taken residence inside him. We cannot transform him that easily. As far as I am concerned, but I keep moving like this. So this is how phobia comes and resides in every single person's psychic vibration. So if you are holding on to the faith, then it cannot harm you. So Aswathaman, it is basically a belief system that when I am closing the door, when I am closing the the windows of that room, I am going to be horrible, I am going to be horrified, and I am going to be terrified. It's not a phobia, it's a state of mind. It is a fixation of a state of mind. Please don't confuse between phobia and the fixation of a state of mind. Fixation means you are fixing yourself into the state of mind. I don't like darkness. It's a fixation. Darkness can harm me. It's a phobia. So, subtle difference between two, but don't confuse. You understood? You got the answer, Aswatam?
Yes, sir. So thank you for this, sir.
My pleasure. Right. Okay. Good job, Tanishwar. Your presentation was really good and it's full executed. Nice.
Thank you, sir.
All right, boys, let's move on to the creative activity that I had put up in the start sheet this morning. And it is going to be Dr. Jaini's curse. For a better understanding, I am putting that into the chat and let us speak about it. Listen to me very carefully. Just sit back, relax, listen to the story. If you would like to note down, I want everybody to note down.
Okay, guys, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, it's kind of raining, so please adjust. Right, so video in one device, audio in another device, and because I need to explain this thing very clearly. Six characters in this particular story, and each of you will have a character to play. Like, you see, let me first of all give you the outline of this particular story. All the youngsters, it's raining, noise on the roof, but still, my voice is audible, right? Can I go on?
Yes, sir. Your voice is audible,
sir.
sir. You can go on.
Sir, it's clear, sir. I couldn't hear. We couldn't hear the sound, sir. The rain
That's so,
sound.
yeah, that's so comforting. Thank you. All right. So basically speaking, these 6 individuals have been working on a research. Like all the 6 individuals have been heavily depending. Please put your hand up whenever you are not able to follow. I will be stopping and I'm going very, very slow for varieties of reasons. You see, these 6 individuals are dependent upon the current technology. First person's name is Dr. Sree, S-R-E-E. That's it. Let's keep the names very short. Dr. Sree, or during the team discussion, if you'd like to come up with some new names, I don't mind. Dr. Sree, you see, this guy is working in a logistics department. I'll explain very clearly what the departments are all about. He's working in a logistics department. He's heavily dependent upon the technology. Like he's running a virtual kind of an online store, like Amazon does, like Flipkart does. Okay. So when people are ordering substance and goods and materials, He has his own transportation chain through which he will reach the products to the people. Everything runs with his WhatsApp, Skype, Google Virtual Meet applications. So that's about Dr. Sri. Why is doctor? He is a PhD holder. He is not an MBBS doctor. He is a PhD holder. Let's now come down to the next person. So you know the occupation of Sri now. We come down to the next person. His name is Karan. Karan. Karan is
Karan or Saran, sir?
Karan. Karan.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Karan is an app developer. You know, we saw Siddharth making a presentation about the anime. So Karan is a fantastic animation-oriented developer, and he has got millions and millions of youngsters and teenagers in his Instagram. They're his followers, and he comes up with instantaneous games, and just like that, in a span of a time, you know, he knows all the technologies. He knows all the technologies just like the back of his palm. He's very, very thorough about all this. And then he has a huge customer base. Okay, so that's about Karan, an app developer, dependent on the technology. In comes into our story, the third character. His name is Raghav, Ragav, not the Bharat Ratna winning footballer Raghav. This guy Raghav is a hardware repairing mechanic. He is an expert in repairing laptops. He is an expert in repairing plasma TVs, LCD, LED TV, and all that. He has got a huge customer base in his locality and also in the other states. Okay, so people resort to Raghav for the mechanism and the kind of repair house, more than even the household work. A person's life today goes for a halt when a technological gadget is going on a repair. Right? So that's where Raghav's expertise is. I've got three people. Okay, so the first one is Dr. Sri, a logistics person. Second one is Karan, an app developer. Third one is Raghav, a hardware repairing. Let's come into the fourth person. Fourth person's name is Zabir. Zabbeer. Zabbeer. Zabir. Zabir is a fashion designer. He designs the attire for even celebrities, and he has always been on the footloose, going to various places. And people from Bollywood, people from Tollywood, people from Hollywood, they always, just like Manish Malhotra, a famous nationally renowned costume designer for all the stars in Indian cine industry. So he's a Manish Malhotra kind of a person, and he designs the attire, and he has got a lot and lot of fans, huge fan base. But at the same time, he has got lots of celebrities, just like that, over the WhatsApp call. They order some fashion designing outfits and contracts so that he can get into and he can really advise. Right from the hairdressing till putting on a tuxedo, all the male celebrities cling on to this guy Zabir. So a fashion designer has got a huge network outside his locality. Again, runs his life over his smartphone, tab, and laptop. The next person number 5. His name is Spencer, an NRI. His name is Spencer, Spencer. Spencer, an NRI, but a very strict Indian. Mom from America, dad from India, and he loves India. But he was in America. He was living in America until 21 years of age. Right now he's 26, and for the past 5 years he's been living in India. Doesn't have his mom and dad, and he is now taking care of his dad's legacy home as well. Rich person, a very wealthy person, and this person is a YouTuber. Okay, so he's a famous YouTuber, and he has got huge fan base. Huge fan base. Speaks about NASA. He's got contact with one among the most happening international renowned YouTube channel called as InfoOasis. So he speaks about NASA. He speaks about sports. He speaks about celebrities' life. He speaks about FIFA World Cup. He speaks about the controversies of Lionel Messi. He speaks about the controversies of uh, other sports and all that. Jokes apart, he's a huge YouTuber, and YouTube in the YPP, that is YouTube Partnership Program, is so proud to have Spencer on their payroll. To that extent, these people value Spencer. Spencer is a very nice guy. No, he's down to earth, and he does not have the hep that he's an international YouTuber. Sometimes the cine franchise asks Spencer to give good reviews about their movies. So to that level, Spencer is a huge guy, a famous YouTuber. Technology, fast internet, and his gadgets are all his bread and butter. We come to the last person, and his name is, I was thinking of a name. We had Christian, we had Muslim, and we had Hindu. Okay, his name is Louis. Asotaman, yes, what is it?
So you told about Spencer's channel name, no sir? Can you repeat it, sir?
No, that's not Spencer's channel name. Dakshin has got a YouTube channel. It's called as InfoOasis. And I was just making a pun and a prank that InfoOasis is one of Spencer's partnership programs.
Oh, okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, let us not speak about the illusion, but the reality is Dakshin has a YouTube channel, and that's InfoOasis. That's really containing a lot of things. It's a living reality of Spencer. Dakshin is a living reality of Spencer. Okay.
Sir, what's the name, sir? Info?
It's Oasis of Information. அப்படின்னு ஞாபகம் வச்சுக்கோ. அதோட short form. InfoOasis.
Okay, sir. I'll go and subscribe and I'll watch all the videos, sir.
Hey, Guru.
Yes, na.
I changed the name of the channel recently. என் பேர் தான். I'll send you the link afterwards, okay?
What's
Yes,
the name
sir.
now?
It's my name only, sir. MSES.
Dakshin Star. Okay,
Yes.
right. Fine. Yeah, previously it was InfoOasis. No.
Yes, sir. Very recently only I changed it, sir.
Yeah, it's okay. But send the link to Gurupras. He's interested.
Oh, yes, sir.
Right. So the sixth person is Louis. Louis is a great stand-up comedian. Okay? And he runs more webinar-based stand-up comedy. Louis has been doing this for the past 7 years. And out of this 7 years, he has only been using Skype or Google Meet, or no, Google Meet was not there in 7 years, but Skype was there. Yeah, Skype. Let's details are more important. Let's be authentic. Yeah, Skype. He has been using Skype only for making or streaming or broadcasting his stand-up. A lot of fans all over countries, all over at least from 17 countries, at least from 17 countries there are fans for Louis, and Louis is a great stand-up comedian, and he is dependent upon technology. Any doubts on the character?
No, sir.
No, sir.
All right, thank you, Dakshin, for that report. That's really good.
No problem.
One day, there was a huge, party conference, and somehow, let us not categorically explain how these people are meeting each other, but somehow, life paths cross, and these people meet in a 5-star hotel. All these people, good, happening youngsters, everybody is working in India at the base, and basically speaking, when they speak, all the 6 people speak within themselves, they suddenly realize that they are actually contributing to the GDP of India, gross domestic product of India, right? So at least to an extent of 0.001%, they were very happy about it, and they're really having fun, and they're going to stay there for a 5-day program. And the program is, a workshop, a 5-day workshop for young entrepreneurs. So yeah, you have the umbrella right now. Young entrepreneurs, which has brought all these people together. Okay, so these people are so happy. Exclusively, Zabir was catching all the eyeballs, but Zabir is very, very down to earth. Although he has got so much of contacts with the celebrities, he does not make a hue and cry of it. Uh, Good friends. The six are really good friends now. Matter of hearts, they met at 4 o'clock in the evening, and by 10 o'clock they are having the plans for the next 4 days. That kind of a very affirmed friendship had been formed between these six people. Everything was good until this man came inside. This is Dr. Jaini, and Jaini is a supernatural power holding black magician, and Jaini attends that conference too, in disguise. Okay, in disguise. Something happens between this Jaini and these guys. That you will have to decide. Story plot making is in your hand. Let me tell you which are all the areas I'm leaving blank, okay, in the story. But you have to fill in the blank, and ultimately you'll have to give the solution. Jaini makes a spell which is really, really hitting very hard on the spinal cords of all these six individuals. I'll tell you what Jaini does. How Jaini comes inside the conference, and Jaini, why he should come with a disguise. It's a young entrepreneur conference for 5-day workshop. Big entrepreneurs will have to come and make speech. Yeah, Jaini was one among the keynote speakers who are going to speak, who are going to speak in the conference. Jaini comes there and he speaks, and something happens between these guys and Jaini. That you will have to let down. As a reflection of this conflict of interest between these guys and Jaini, Jaini makes a spell. And all our six heroes have got orders being placed at least for the next 2 years. Like the app developer has got the contract signed for about next 2 years. And the contracts are worth at least like 35 lakhs or 50 lakhs Indian currency. Like Zabir has got so much of orders from the celebrity. And right from the current Telugu industry's blockbuster RRR till perhaps the next movie from some other big industry, take it Bollywood or Hollywood, he has got orders from all those people at least for the next 2 or 3 years, few crores in the pipeline. If you take the stand-up comedian, he has so much of programs lined up. December, Christmas Eve, holiday season, and he's very, very busy, and he's going to have thousands and thousands of opportunities, at least for the next 2 years. And the app developer, he's got so much of people. Holiday again, youngsters have put up a lot of orders for creative games to become up, and some more games which could really hit, the PUBGs and the Free Fires out of the market. If they want something new, so he has got orders, and all these people have got so much of orders for the next 2 years. For 2022, they are busy. For 2023, they are busy, and they have got their financial chart well planned. Something happened between this Jaini guy and these people, and Jaini actually warns everybody, don't mess with me. You're going to really, really feel bad. So these people are at the pink of their career, and right now, few hours earlier, they have got wonderful friendship formed. So they are puffing their chest out, and they are really taking it on with Jaini. And that night, something horrible happens. Jaini makes a spell that midnight. He's everything. You think he's an occultist? Yes, he is. You think he's a black magic specialist? Yes, he is. You think he's a voodoo creator? Yes, he is. Jaini puts all these six people in the next morning in the world where there is no technology, there is no internet, there is no gadgets, there is no laptops, there is no even television. The six people go back to radio broadcasting period. All the six people who are really having lots of contracts signed and orders being put into their list And for the next 2 years, they are going to be having their golden wings to fly on the sky. Everything is being shattered. Now, these people remember only one thing, that's their name. And Jaini has put them into a particular period, and it has been rewound, and it is put into a particular period where there is no technology. Every single day, technology runs us. We don't run technology. Technology runs us. You wake up in the morning, you take the phone, and you see some YouTube videos. You see some posts in the Instagram. You see some posts in the Facebook. You see some posts in the LinkedIn, and that feeds your mind. And the day goes on like that. While you're eating your breakfast, while you're eating your lunch, while you're eating your dinner, you have that little piece of the rectangle box, and you watch something and you eat. You listen to music. And when you're studying during the study breaks, you take the phone and you watch something. So ordinary people are slaves of this particular technology. When ordinary people are slaves like that, imagine the condition of these 6 people who are running an occupation with it. So Jaini puts a spell and these people go back. Now, help these 6 boys. And how are you going to bring up the solution? That's it. I rest my case. Do you have any questions?
Sir, they still know their about. You said that they remember their names, sir. But do they remember those like the contracts and designing the
Everything.
work they have, sir?
Everything. They are still the same, but they are put into a different period.
Yes, sir.
And
Like they time traveled, sir.
that's the punishment. No, I don't want to label that as time travelers. That's all up to you. You have to sit and discuss. You have time till tomorrow evening. So you have to stage up this particular skit or presentation or ideology. I don't want to name it as a time travel, but this Jaini guy has to be taken care of. I mean, you've got 4 things. Number 1, how are you going to take care of Jaini? Number 2, these people's occupations have to be finished, or at least the customers have to be properly answered. Number 3, what's the solution? What solution you have? Going back to the time period, okay, fine. So if you're planning on that way, how is it going to be possible? Are you going to battle with Jaini? He's like Doctor Strange in the Marvel universe. So are you going to talk to him? Are you going to have negotiation with him? Are you going to plead? Are you going to fall on his feet and apologize? Everything is up to you. And then finally, you have to tell me what's the learning of this. This is called as a Jaini's curse. And all the 6 individuals have to speak. If you are representing yourself as one individual, like Siddharth being Sabir, Tanishwar being Dr. Sri, you decide everything. So in today's session, you have close to 40 minutes, and you have the world of tomorrow's entire session. Siddharth and Tanishwar are going to be only till tomorrow session only. So we have to finish it tomorrow. So if you don't have any questions, without taking further, sit back, relax, jump into a friendly discussion of how to deal with this case study. Any questions?
No, sir.
So I have one question.
Yeah, Siddharth.
Pretty much we have to make them like, so the final goal is to make sure that they're not stressing out over their contract and make them calm down, right?
Absolutely. Here, these 6 people have got everything to lose. Jaini does not have anything to lose. Okay? Now, I have given only the legs, heads, and legs, arms, and head. But you have to prepare the heart. Like what has happened between Jaini and these people, which has taken them to an extent of coming to this level of getting and receiving a curse, right? And they have to finish the job. So Siddharth, these people don't have their next course of bread if they are not finishing the job. So they will have to go back. Or is there any way to do this without the technology? They can stay in the same timeline, but still staying in the same timeline, will they be able to finish this job? Think on that line too. So It's entirely upon your creativity. Creativity. Got it? So that,
Yes, sir.
yeah, Guru Prasad.
Sir, you will play the role of Jaini, no, sir?
No, see, it's the
Sir,
after.
please don't, sir. You always play the role of villain, sir.
Absolutely right, correct.
But
So Guru
Jaini,
Prasad,
sir, he's necessarily need not be a villain, right, sir?
he's not a villain. Yeah, that's a good catch. Basically, sometimes these people have carried themselves too high, and Jaini had to be mesmerized in a wrong way to go to this extent. So Guru Prasanna, if you're doing a skit, please don't redo the same thing that we know. Like, give us a solution. Like, you start your scenario being in the radio broadcasting period, and from then onwards you can. And if you need Dr. Jaini in that particular role, then tell me, we will do something. Or you can assign the roles. Role assigning, everything should be done by you.
Yes,
I've
sir.
given you only the theme, so it's by you, off you. It should be by you. It should be off you. That's it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So I will be away from this window. You all stay in this window. Involve. We already have a black magician called as Sibi Adityan who is doing something harmful. Us. Pull him inside and try to make him speak. But don't waste your time asking him to speak. Our network, so you don't waste time. I'll deal with him in a different way. So now the time is it's between 6:30, 6:30 and 6:35. How much
So
time do you need?
6:34, sir.
Yeah. So how much time do you need for the preparation? Action.
So the entire session, maybe?
The rest of the session?
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Fine. So we will see that, and I will jump in when I am called for, because I cannot stay in your discussion. That will be a kind of a spoiler for me. So let me know when you need my assistance.
Sir,
So that
I have to leave at around 8:30 for a scout event.
8:30. How much time from now? How much duration from now?
That's about like 30 minutes. 25 to 30 minutes.
That's good enough. That's good enough. And after you leave, maybe these people will stay around for another 10 minutes or 15 minutes only. So it's not going to be much of a loss. But make sure you're contributing and you're giving your ideas in the 30 minutes time.
Yes, sir.
All right. Okay. Fine. I'll come back when Siddharth is about to leave. Siddharth, just send a message once you are about to leave.
Okay, sir.
All right, boys. Enjoy the conversation.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.